This is CBC Here and Now.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. We begin tonight with a lawsuit settlement that's believed to be the first of its kind in Newfoundland and Labrador, an out-of-court payment for more than 1,000 patients. The class action lawsuit claims people were harmed when a Western Health employee snooped through their private medical files. Here and Now's Mark Quinn reports.
Western Health was negligent.
A 2-week trial was set to start today, but late Friday an agreement was reached. Lawyer Bob Buckingham says this out-of-court settlement should send a strong message to health authorities in this province.
Hopefully, something will happen and people's privacy will be taken seriously, and people will be, and the staff who have access to privacy will be checked upon.
One Western Health employee who, in Buckingham's words, was snooping through the medical files of patients was responsible for the privacy breaches. That employee has since been dismissed. Buckingham says there can be no doubt that there was an impact on each of the almost 1,000 members of the class action.
The fact that your privacy is breached, that's a harm in and of itself. That's an entitlement to damages from our perspective. But more importantly, in this particular case, the people have gone through years and years of not knowing why their information was accessed. What was done with that information, if anything, why the person was, looking into their files, and the stress and strain on people is just being tremendous.
The lawsuit was filed more than 10 years ago. Almost 100 class members have died since it was filed.
It is unfortunate and it's sad. Hopefully, Western Health has learned from this.
Buckingham hopes this settlement will mean health authorities will quickly settle other privacy breach cases that are before the courts in this province.
I think it sets a basis of a settlement for the first Central Health one and for the first Eastern Health one.
Lawyer Bob Buckingham says he can't reveal the details of the settlement just yet. He says it still has to be approved by a judge in court. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
The Canadian Forces is helping clean up the southwest coast in the wake of Fiona. Military crews say the mission changes day to day. Soldiers were seen in Port aux Basques this afternoon, roping off dangerous areas and helping with construction. They say bringing an added layer of protection to the community is a top priority, and so is checking in on residents. And while the forces clean up along the shoreline, a local environmental group is focusing on the sea.
Doing surface cleanups. We're going around removing all the debris from the beaches and trying to get rid of the big wharf sticks and stuff like that, which could be a shipping hazard, right? If that stuff drifts out with high tide and gets into the shipping lanes, it's definitely going to damage the whatever hits it. And a lot of these sticks and a lot of these pieces of wharf and stuff got netting entangled into it. If that gets in the ocean and marine life tangles up into it, for say if a whale gets entangled into something like that, they're going to be dragging around a piece of a wharf or something. Right? There's no way they're going to be able to carry that for any length of time.
Well, Clean Harbour's fundraising efforts have hit a major snag. We'll have more with Sean Bath about what went wrong and the massive cleanup job ahead of him. That's ahead on Here and Now. Well, several fire departments in Labrador West are holding a fundraiser today for the Canadian Red Cross. All proceeds will go towards helping people on the southwest coast.
Lab City Fire Department, Wabush Fire Department, IOC, Foreign Security, along with the Salvation Army. We're just here today to have a boot drive to see if we can help out the residents of the southwest coast of Newfoundland after the hurricane. We started at 3 and we're going to go till 9. We all know somebody there. Personally, I know the fire chief in Port aux Basques. I know the fire chief in Virgil. So we're just trying to help out in any way we can.
Well, it's been a beautiful couple of fall days, especially this weekend and especially in eastern portions of the island. The reason for that is this big ridge of high pressure extending all the way from Ontario through the Maritimes and here in Newfoundland and Labrador, and that big ridge of high pressure is keeping this area of low pressure to the south. This is actually the remnants of Ian, and we won't see any effects of that because as this ridge continues to track a little bit further east, it is going to keep those remnants further south. Now, this ridge of high pressure is keeping the skies relatively clear. We do have some cloud cover up across the Big Land and parts of the island, but that also means that we're going to see some cool temperatures as we head through the overnight tonight. Risk that we could even see some cool below zero temperatures for a good chunk of the island through the overnight, likely in the lower areas, low-lying areas rather. Those temperatures could dip between -2 and -3 through the overnight. That will continue as we get into Tuesday morning, but a beautiful day on tap tomorrow. I'll tell you about that when I come back.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, we have an update now on a story we brought you late last month. A man has been arrested for allegedly committing an indecent act against a young girl in Gander. A little over a week ago, the student was walking home from school when she was approached by a red Dodge Journey. Now, police say the driver of that vehicle was naked from the waist down and tried coaxing the girl into the SUV. The student ran away and reported the incident. A 24-year-old man was in court today facing multiple charges, including exposing himself to a person under 16. Parents are being encouraged to talk to their children about these types of crimes, and any victims should contact police. The majority of NAPE has signed a 4-year collective agreement with the provincial government. It covers almost all of the 20,000 public service workers. They'll get a 2% wage increase each year for 4 years, as well as a one-time signing bonus of $2,000. The College of the North Atlantic has signed on, and so have school boards and the Marine Institute. 3 bargaining groups did not: correctional officers, air services, and marine services groups. They represent about 650 NAPE workers. The union says it will meet with those bargaining teams to plan next steps. Well, the fall sitting of the House of Assembly begins on Wednesday. Healthcare and the cost of living are still hot-button issues on the agenda. But as Here Now's Daryl Roberts reports, the House will temporarily move to a different and historic location.
On Wednesday, the House of Assembly will sit here for the first time in more than 60 years. Until 1959, this is where the provincial government debated bills and passed laws. And this week, they'll do it again. Healthcare and the cost of living dominated the last session of the House of Assembly, and it looks like not much will change when a new one starts this week.
Many of the top priorities would be a lot of the priorities that you would have seen us addressing in previous sessions and things that we know there's still work to be done on. When you think about healthcare and cost of living, and we've made a commitment, the Premier's been clear that we'll bring forward pay equity legislation this fall as well.
This summer, rural emergency room closures highlighted staffing problems in the healthcare system. Meanwhile, people across the province continue to struggle with the rising cost of food and housing. The opposition plans to focus on those topics too.
Just flick on your radio, turn on TV, go in a coffee shop. Healthcare issues and cost of living are probably the 2 main issues dominating the topic list.
It took more than a decade to renovate the Colonial Building. The provincial historic site reopened last month as a museum. Crocker, who doubles as tourism minister, says it was meant to be used.
It's an important part of our history, and I think it's important that we highlight that and give people an opportunity to see what this building has to offer and its functionality as well.
I'm one of those that lost.
NDP interim leader Jim Dinn isn't as pleased with the project, which cost about $23 million. The provincial government contributed about $15 million, while the feds chipped in $8 million.
What are our priorities when it comes to whether we're going to have the house, the Colonial Building, for 2 days when we've got people who are in emergency shelters, who are facing homelessness, who can't afford to put food on the table? I think we've got to get our priorities straight here.
The fall sitting will kick off here on Wednesday with the throne speech, where Lieutenant Governor Judy Foote will outline government's plans. They'll stay here for 2 days before moving back to Confederation Building. Daryl Roberts, CBC News, St. John's.
And staying with the Colonial Building, hundreds of protesters rallied there on Saturday, angry about what's happening in Iran. 3 weeks ago, a 22-year-old woman, Mahsa Amini, was detained by Iran's morality police for allegedly wearing her hijab, or headscarf, improperly. She later died in hospital. Amini's death prompted an international outcry, including here, where some have cut off their hair to send a message to the Iranian government.
Her name. Mahsa Amini. Women life freedom. Women life freedom.
We are here to show our solidarity with Iranian people who have risen again against the brutal Islamic Republic gender apartheid, to show that we are here in solidarity with people of Iran who are against these brutal laws.
It was a feeling that actually I'm dead. You know, it can be me, it can be my sister, my friends, anybody.
I feel that the next one can be my mom, the next one can be my brother, because she wasn't even protesting. She was just visiting for the first time the capital of Iran, Tehran, and she was alone there with her brother, and they killed her as she arrived in Tehran. So she wasn't even protesting against anything. She was just visiting a city. So this can be any of us, any of my friends, any of my family. So I feel really terrible that I can't live in this fear that my friends and family can die any day.
I'm so proud today that they came here today and support us because I feel that this protest is not exactly for Iranians. It is okay that they start with Iranians and Iranian women, but I think still that it is for humanity.
Meanwhile, Iran's supreme leader is blaming the United States and Israel for the current unrest in that country. The Ayatollah called Amini's death a bitter incident, but gave his full support to the security forces that are cracking down on current protests. His comments came during a police academy graduation ceremony. It's estimated thousands have been arrested, hundreds injured, and more than 130 people killed in the last 2 weeks since Amini's death. It was a short-lived fundraiser for one Ukrainian family living in St. John's. The Aloshas spent nearly all their savings on a used vehicle. And when it broke down after just a month, they turned to a GoFundMe page to help with the necessary repairs. But one generous donation has blown them away.
We were trying to find help from people around, and people were super helpful. We made a fundraiser on GoFundMe for the car, so we raised quite a good amount. We're really grateful for people. People here are amazing and very helpful. I know the car is not like you need to have it for sure, but in a way, me and my husband, we started to work. Now the kid is in daycare, so we need to be in a lot of places at the same time.
When you opened up GoFundMe and you saw that someone had donated almost $9,000, how did that feel?
Oh my God, I almost cried. I think I cried a little bit. I was the time in the mall, and I was like, oh my God, my husband, oh my God, look, somebody donated so much. It was anonymous, obviously, I didn't know, but I was super happy, and I actually couldn't believe, oh my God, thank you so much. Whoever this person is, I will pray to God, for health, for wellness for this person.
Well, that anonymous $9,000 donation has to be cleared by GoFundMe first. But Yevgenia says once her family has secured those funds and their new car, she'll be sharing a photo and another thank you message online. Well, Sunday was the final curtain call for Come From Away on Broadway. And there they are. The cast of the Tony Award-winning show took their final bows last night at the Gerald Schoenfield Theater in Manhattan. Come From Away debuted on Broadway in 2017 and has been adapted in cities across the globe. During a recent performance in St. John's, Newfoundlander and original cast member Patrina Bromley spoke about the show's lasting impact.
to be in a place where we have to remember about kindness feels strange, but it's true, we just forget. I think it's a message that people in the U.S. are very open to hearing because they want to believe in it. And we don't often feel like we can believe in it. The wonderful thing about it for people from Newfoundland and from Canada in general, but from Newfoundland and Labrador for sure, is I hope it has given them the confidence to feel proud of who they are and what they are and what our kind of general outlook on life is. I can help you and it will help us both. Yeah.
The town of Conception Bay South held a dedication ceremony yesterday to unveil a monument to fallen soldiers. This light armored vehicle, or LAV-3, now sits prominently on Remembrance Square. 162 Canadians lost their lives in the Afghanistan war, including 11 from this province. The LAV-3 was used in Afghanistan and is one of just 33 in the country.
Temperatures are going to be warm over the next couple of days, particularly up across Labrador. We're going to continue to see these mild temperatures through Wednesday, even into Thursday. We'll get into the full forecast coming up.
There's definitely a bit of a chill in the air, but not as much as in Labrador.
Nope, woke up to some snow this weekend, particularly yesterday. Let's take a look at that shot there. Keith captured this in Lab West. Nice dusting of snow.
So it begins.
And so it begins. Yes, we are. Well, we are in October already. It's when we typically start to see some of that snow. And some of you may have also seen some graupel yesterday. I was out earlier today and someone asked me, was it hailing yesterday? I said, nope, it was graupel. And that's this is the type of weather where we'll start to see that, and that it does look like hail, but it's a different setup. But we definitely had some cool air, and we're starting to see some of that cool air across Labrador. But today, very different story. 11 degrees warmer right now than it was yesterday at this time in Labrador, and those temperatures across the island as well, somewhere between 0 and 3 degrees warmer. So you're either where you were or you're a bit warmer than where you were yesterday. So taking a look at the highs today, 13 degrees in Lab City, 10 in Happy Valley Goose Bay, and those temperatures across the island. Coolest for the Northern Peninsula, otherwise somewhere between 10 to 12 degrees. That's about where you should be sitting this time of year, maybe a degree or two warmer. But we will continue to see that over the next couple of days on the plus side, a couple of degrees warmer than what we're seeing today. Right now, 9 degrees in St. John's, a bit of a breeze as well out of the northwest, around 22 kilometers per hour. If you take a look at those winds sustained across the province, that's generally where we're sitting. 30 in the Rec House right now, 35 out of the west in Port aux Basques, and then up across Labrador. Not a whole lot of wind right now in Nain, but as we head through tomorrow, those winds are going to start to ramp up, particularly in the early morning hours and into the afternoon for you in Nain, about 100 kilometer per hour wind gusts. And then for the afternoon and evening hours for the Northern Peninsula, around 70 kilometers per hour. But those of you in the Canada Bay area, you'll more than likely see those gusts around 100 kilometers per hour, and those winds will be out of the southwest. So taking a look at what's going on right now, a lack of cloud cover from Ontario all the way through to the to Labrador, as well as Newfoundland, and that's because of that big ridge of high pressure. Now, if I zoom in a little bit, you can see that lack of cloud cover. Just a few clouds rolling around, but as we head through the night tonight, we're actually looking at not a whole lot happening as that ridge of high pressure continues to edge a little bit further east. Those winds overnight will diminish for the most part, 15 to 30 kilometer per hour winds tonight, with the chance of a few clouds sticking around, but overall very quiet. We may even see some showers along coastal areas of Labrador, including Happy Valley Goose Bay. But for the most part, it'll be just cloudy periods. You'll likely see some clear skies through the evening hours, and that's good news because there is the there's the chance that we could see some northern lights. Now, I've been seeing some pictures of the northern lights all through the weekend, so just checking social media now just before I came on, and the geomagnetic storm is certainly happening. So there's a good chance tonight after it gets dark that areas in the green for sure, but the visible line, which will be low on the horizon, will likely be in and around the Northern Peninsula. Now, there is a chance we could see them, but they'll be very faint if you do, and likely going to have to be captured by a camera. But if those skies are clear on either side of midnight by an hour or two, that will be the best chance to see them. So if you're lucky enough, bundle up because it's going to be chilly tonight, 3 to 5 degrees again. Those low-lying areas may see those temperatures dip into the minus single digits. Warmer though, opposite up across Labrador. Happy Valley Goose Bay will sit around 8 degrees tonight, 9 in Nain, but again, your winds will start to ramp up. So you'll already be seeing those gusts around 70 kilometers per hour tonight and then into tomorrow. Keeping those winds on there for you just so you can see when that happens, particularly the Northern Peninsula and then coastal areas of Labrador. But setting the stage, that ridge of high pressure, setting the stage for an absolutely beautiful day tomorrow. We may see some clouds roll through again for Labrador, and then some showers developing as we get into the early morning hours for the Northern Peninsula as well. Taking a look at the temperatures for tomorrow. Take a look at this. 15 to 16 or 17 degrees through the day, either light winds or a bit brisk on the west coast, between 30 and 50 kilometers per hour. And other than that, just those clouds on the increase for Labrador. Now take a look at these temperatures. 19 degrees in Happy Valley Goose Bay. That is 10 degrees warmer than where you should be sitting this time of year. Same thing for southeastern portions of the Big Land. But overall, generally looking at that mix of sun and cloud and also that chance of showers as well. But Nain will be the coolest at about 9 degrees through the day. So that's a look at your Tuesday forecast. We'll look ahead to the weekend when I come back.
So much debris washed into the ocean from these houses that was blown over and blown down. So many sheds got washed into the ocean, each one containing lots of nets and trawls and whatever kind of fishing gear.
Sean Bath, the man who spends his days cleaning up the ocean, has a new challenge, taking out what Fiona tossed into the waters off the southwest coast. A local environmental group is in Port aux Basques to help clean up the devastation left behind by Fiona. And while residents and the military focus on removing debris from the shore, diver Sean Bath with the Clean Harbor Initiative is focused on removing all the stuff that was swept out to sea. He joins us now from Port aux Basques. So Sean, we've spoken to you about the work you do to remove things like ghost gear and tires from harbors. What made you want to take your operation to Port aux Basques to join this cleanup?
Well, I guess it was just for the sheer necessity, right? This is definitely one of the biggest storms we've had that I remember in my lifetime anyhow. And there was so much debris washed into the ocean from these houses that was blown over and blown down. So many sheds got washed into the ocean, each one containing lots of nets and trawls and whatever kind of fishing gear. So this is what we do, clean harbors, right? We go around, we clean up harbors every year. So, I mean, this is a perfect fit for us.
What is your plan of attack out there? Like, where do you even begin with a cleanup of this size?
Right now, we're just doing surface cleanups. We're going around removing all the debris from the beaches and trying to get rid of the big wharf sticks and stuff like that, which could be a shipping hazard, right? If that stuff drifts out with high tide and gets into the shipping lanes, it's definitely going to do damage to whatever hits it. And a lot of these sticks and all these pieces of wharf and stuff got netting entangled into it. If that gets in the ocean and marine life tangles up into it, for say if a whale gets entangled in something like that, they're going to be dragging around a piece of a wharf or something, right? There's no way they're going to be able to carry that for any length of time. So we need to get that out of the water before it gets out to where it can do harm.
Yeah, so time is kind of the essence, it sounds like. You'll want to get all of this stuff out of the water quickly.
Yes, most definitely. This stuff got to come off the shorelines. The last couple of days we started off doing plastic cleanups first, and then we switched over to doing cleaning up the logs and like I said, the old wharves that drifted ashore. And we're trying to get as much of that out of the water as possible, as fast as possible.
And how are you coordinating your efforts with others who are already on the ground out there?
Whenever we go out to Burnt Holland in the mornings, we speak to the locals to see what their fishermen and the other volunteers are doing, and just ask them where we are needed the most or where our best fit is, right?
And you know, there is, as we talked about, so much debris that was just swallowed up by the storm surge. How dangerous would it be to get into the water, to go diving, to get that out? Is diving even a possibility right now?
Not right now, no, because there's so much fresh water here now. You have very low visibility. But hopefully in a few more days or maybe a few more weeks when we get the shorelines cleaned up, hopefully the water will be cleared all a bit. We can get down and start retrieving some of the debris. The netting stuff is in the deeper water for most of it. But going along the shorelines, there's a lot of stuff like hot water tanks, fridges, stoves, and stuff like that. Pretty much every household appliance that they had is whatever would sink, it sunk pretty fast, right?
Yeah, all kinds of things out there from people's homes. And typically your group deals with trash, gear and appliances that have been tossed away on purpose. But this is a bit of a different situation. Is there any kind of plan to try to reunite people with their lost belongings? Like if you find something out there that someone will want back, is there any way that you can help reunite them with their belongings?
Yes, absolutely. At the end of every day, we come in and whatever fishing gear we had or whatever we found that's of any value, we bring it and put it on the wharf in one pile and we throw the trash in another pile. So far, we've gotten several bags of buoys and gillnet floats and just different things that fishermen had that they had their numbers on, so they recognized it as soon as we brought it in. So we got a lot of stuff given back to them already, but pretty much everything we get is either trash or it's going to be given back to the fishermen, right?
And you had a GoFundMe page set up to help pay for your expenses while you're out there, but things got a little bit tangly with that. You ran into some trouble. What happened there?
We're not entirely sure yet, but we raised $1,800 with our GoFundMe, which was basically our gas money to come back home on. But with GoFundMe, 3 to 5 days, and you always had your money in your account. Now it's been 6 days now since we've set it up and got donations. And talking to different people, they're saying that we were supposed to be on a particular list that they had set up for, I guess, to give each person credibility or whatever, whoever was raising money for this area. So I don't know if we're going to get that funding now or what's going to happen to it. So kind of stumped as why we're not getting the funding, right?
Right. Well, Sean Bath, I hope everything gets sorted out there. Thank you so much for speaking with us today, and good luck with the cleanup.
You're welcome. Thank you once again for giving us an opportunity to bring awareness to the problem.
Well, Well, shifting to another island that's still dealing with Fiona fallout, 20,000 people in Prince Edward Island have been without power for 10 days. 200 crews are out this evening trying to get it restored. In some places, lines and poles had to be rebuilt from the ground up. The CBC's Gary Moore has this report from Charlottetown.
A dangling power line over the Charlottetown street is a reminder that life is far from back to normal for many people. It's day 10 of no lights for this city neighborhood, and it's starting to wear people down.
I was not expecting it to be this bad. I was expecting 3-4 days, maybe 5, but to be here in the middle of the city and to still have a line down, I was hoping that it would be up sooner. Yeah.
Eleanor Crosley has an 18-month-old baby, and trying to care for her young child without power has been challenging.
It's hard with a little one that, I can't do anything with him.
There was some good news for her family yesterday. Power was restored to her mother's neighborhood, so she's planning to move in with her mom until the mess on her street is cleaned up. And with temperatures dropping, the timing couldn't be better.
We're going to be staying with her probably with the weather getting so cold. It's hard to keep a baby warm in a cold house.
Although Crosley and her neighbors don't know how much longer they'll be in the dark, there was a bit of hope today. Crews were working on down lines on nearby streets. A glimmer of hope for seniors who have been living in the dark for more than a week.
Eager to get back electricity so that I can have some hot water, so I can have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea.
In downtown Charlottetown, spirits are starting to dampen. 10 days in the dark is too long for Maureen Robinson. She's exhausted from the whole situation and says it's taken a toll on her mental and physical health.
There's power wires everywhere hanging down. There's a transformer pole leaning against a house. No one's really come to look at it. No one's come to talk to us about it. So we don't know what's going on.
Robinson says there's a lot of questions to be answered about how the cleanup was handled and how it's possible for so many people to still be without power 10 days later. Gary Moore, CBC News, Charlottetown.
I had no clue what I was going to do with my life, and now look at me.
Yes, just look at Amy Pike, a hairstylist who is quite literally going places. Her skills are taking her all the way to a worldwide competition that's ahead. Well, typically, travelers avoid taking scissors onto a plane, but they'll have to make an exception for Amy Pike. The hairstylist is heading to Finland to compete at the World Skills Competition next week. And before takeoff, she showed Here and Now Zach Gowdy her winning skills.
I had no clue what I was going to do with my life, and now look at me. Like, I feel like somewhat successful. Hi, my name is Amy Pike. I'm representing Canada at the World Skills Special Edition Hairstyling in Finland. Right now we're in Kean College, and we're in the salon where it all started. I started May 2021, I don't know, spontaneous decision on a couch to start hairstyling, really. That Tuesday I was in the classroom. So I was in class one day and Kim Seward, my instructor, she asked me if I wanted to go to Vancouver for Skills Canada Nationals competition, and she was like, yeah, I'll give you the weekend to think about it. And I said, I don't need the weekend, I want to go.
Hi, my name is Kim Seward, and I'm with Skills Canada Newfoundland and Labrador. If you could just kind of tuck this in around so we can really see the ornamentation. When you go to a Skills Canada event, everyone's crowded around hairstyling all the time because it's just so much fun to watch it, because they're watching creativity, and people just love watching the transformation from just a mannequin with long hair to an absolutely crazy look with all kinds of fun colors. So people flock to that competition. They just love watching it.
What I'm being judged on is my cutting, coloring, styling. You gotta kind of have an eye for what they're looking for. One little hair out of place could make or break it. When we were at the award ceremony, I figured I won a medal. I was really proud of what I did, so I thought I had a medal. I wasn't sure about gold though. And bronze came up, wasn't my name. Silver came up, wasn't my name. So I kind of sat back down. I was like, oh, well, it was fun, right? Like, I had a good trip. And then gold, it was like, that's me? Like, that's my name? Like, I get goosebumps still. It's crazy. Yeah, I get to go to Finland for the world competition, having won the Canada Nationals. I am the only person competing from Newfoundland and Labrador at the world competition. Gold medal was great, but having that shirt that said Team Canada competitor was even better. I'm so excited to go to Finland and see what I can do there, and just the training I've gotten since Vancouver. It's crazy. I've flown to Nova Scotia to train with world expert Bonnie Williams, and I've gotten lots of one-on-one with different barbers and stylists, and you know, it's just so rewarding. It's so great.
Skills Canada is about focusing on the youth in skilled trades and just helping them be better versions of themselves. For so long, we've always thought the only thing after high school is university, and that's it, you know? And that's amazing for some people. It works great for some people. For others, it don't, and they need to know that they have other outlets and other ways to go.
When I come back from Finland, I will be opening my own shop in CBS called the Bearded Dragon Barbershop. Super excited. In the job, you know, you do a great haircut, you don't get a medal for it. Having that medal at the end of the day just to show, like, it's amazing. I hang it up for all my clients to see, and you relive it over and over again.
Police in Halifax say one person was stabbed and some of their officers were injured Saturday night while responding to a large student street party.
2 young children, so that's really not okay for me. So I certainly chased a number of students off of my property who were dressed in DAL gear, and there was a lot of belligerence around that. And again, I want to emphasize, like, I don't think that this is all DAL students, but this isn't okay behavior. It's not acceptable. I don't think that anybody deserves to have their property used as a toilet.
Police say a number of arrests were made and they are still gathering information. Dalhousie's president released a statement condemning the behavior of students involved and says the university will investigate. A police chief and 9 other officials have been removed from their jobs because of a weekend soccer stampede in Indonesia. Riot police fired tear gas into the stands to disperse tens of thousands of fans from the losing home team who ran onto the pitch. Today, mourners are paying tribute to the 125 people killed in that stampede. Officials have ordered an investigation into security procedures at soccer matches, and Indonesia's Human Rights Commission is questioning the police use of tear gas during the melee. On Saturday, panic-stricken spectators were caught up in a deadly stampede in an overpacked stadium in East Java. The Soccer Association has suspended all matches until the probe into the stampede is complete. Well, the federal government has signed a rare and historic agreement to give back land to a First Nation in Ontario. It will see more than 120 hectares returned to the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte. They will also receive more than $30 million for the loss of the land's use. CBC's Olivia Stevanovich has the story.
This is the quarry, which is only a small portion of the claim.
The Kimmett family lives on the front line of a land claim battle, one they're hoping will end by transferring more than 120 hectares to the federal government.
We're in an unfortunate position where we're kind of in harm's way, and so we became willing sellers.
This land has been a source of conflict for decades, and even though these fields and the quarry down this road will be returned to the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte, this only resolves part of the dispute. The town of Deseronto, Ontario is built on the Mohawks' unsurrendered territory.
We are looking for the lands to be returned.
The chief is trying to reclaim more than 240 hectares and has made a financial offer to the town.
The facts are not often in Canada's favor.
The Crown Indigenous Relations Minister says he's considering changes to speed up the process, but the policy will remain willing seller, willing buyer.
This isn't an eviction notice by any stretch of the imagination. This is a process where there will be a consent-based approach to returning land.
I see this as nothing but a scam.
Some traditional members of the community are worried they won't be able to use the land they've fought for.
The Mohawk people are the owners of the land, not a federal institution such as the Band Council.
Even though this part of the land claim is settled, the fight is far from over. Olivia Stevanovich, CBC News, Deseronto, Ontario.
Here's a good news story for you. An amateur florist in Fredericton is delivering free flowers and smiles to her community. Carla Westbury is a full-time labor and delivery nurse. She started growing flowers in her downtime, and as you're about to hear, she has no interest in keeping them for herself.
Look at that.
Flowers are the love language for anybody. I feel that who doesn't want flowers? They can make a good situation good, they can make a bad situation good. They're just the answer for anything. And I haven't met a person whose day has not been lifted from getting flowers. And I just wanted to spread that. I wanted to show people what I was doing. I wanted to be able to showcase what I was creating. And I just thought that people deserve to have beautiful flowers, and why not for free? Why not? I'm a single mom. I have 2 little ones and they're in school, and I'm a registered nurse. I work full-time in labor and delivery. I'm fortunate that when I get my 5 days off, I kind of have this spare time to fulfill some hobbies and passions of mine. So I have lots of hobbies and passions, but once I discovered flowers, it kind of went from there. And then I came across a picture of a flower stand on someone's front yard, and I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to grow flowers and give them to people. Once I started growing flowers from seed, I was immediately hooked because it really just gave me something to look forward to in the beginning of winter, purchasing the seeds, planting the gardens, and then from there choosing what I wanted to have and watching them grow. And you could just get so much reward out of starting something from a seed and growing it and then being able to bring it outside. So I'll harvest the flowers and then I will bring them in the home and let them sit in water for a bit, and then I'm able to take all of the leaves and everything off of them, and then I decide how I want to create my arrangements. And then I'll typically at that point make an announcement on my Instagram page that the stand will be going out, just so people have an opportunity to come get them if they'd like. They're usually gone pretty quick. They don't last long. They're gone within an hour, typically.
I'm curious what's happening with these. Oh, it's just a free flower stand. Really?
Yeah, I have an Instagram page. It's been out a few times this summer.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, no, it's been out a few times this summer. I've been busy in August,
I
so
love
help
it.
yourself. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you sure I have a little bit of cash? No, that's the whole point of it. Okay, thank you. Wow, that's so lovely. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Thank you.
Do you like the flowers?
They're lovely, yes.
It's great. I think it's a great idea. She's amazing for doing it. I mean, there's obviously a cost for her, but she's doing it all for free for us. I just want to keep spreading kindness, and I just want to keep letting people know out there that there are good people out there that just want to do things for the sake of just being kind. And I want to show that to my children, and I want to set that bar for them to know that you can do good in the world, and it doesn't have to be because you want something from it. It can just be because you want to show people that you care. The stories that I've heard from people that have gotten my bouquets and the ways that I've been able to give back to the community has really motivated me to just keep doing what I'm doing. I know that people just absolutely love getting them, and it's just been a way for me to get to know my neighbors and just really show what I love to do.
What a nice thing.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, beautiful flowers too.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that every day as well.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so gardening weather.
It actually is. It's going to be beautiful over the next couple of days. Not so much in the overnight, though.
Yeah, good time to clean up, I guess, get everything ready for fall.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All the leaves are already starting to fall. So. But take a look at the temperatures for your Wednesday. You are not going to be upset about that. 17 degrees in St. John's, 18, 19 through Central, even the Northern Peninsula. We'll see those temperatures in the teens, including Labrador. 16 degrees for Happy Valley Goose Bay. Again, so another beautiful day, and 15 in Cartwright. Now we're going to hang on to some of that cooler air, though, up across Nain as your temperature hovers around 8 degrees through the day. But overall, we're just looking at clouds on the increase, but we should see plenty of sunshine through the day, but you will see some clouds move in as the afternoon rolls through. And other than that, not a whole lot happening. Now, as we head towards Wednesday evening and into the overnight, we'll start to see our next weather maker move in. So we will start to see that potential for some showers for Lab West, and also the potential for some snow for northern portions of Labrador through the day on your Thursday. And as that system, that area of low pressure continues to track across the Big Land, we will see those showers. Now also, the clouds will be on the increase into the evening hours on Thursday for the island, and going to bring the chance of some showers, it looks like, for the eastern portion of the island. So 15 degrees in St. John, showing some cloud cover there. The rain will move in late day. Otherwise, through Central, we're going to hang on to these temperatures in the teens. 16 degrees for Gander, 17 in Corner Brook. The chance of showers for you along the south coast as well in Port aux Basques. And then we're looking at those temperatures still, again, 19 degrees for Happy Valley Goose Bay. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, that is 10 degrees above where you should be sitting this time of year. And there's that cooler air for Nain. Now, likely in the afternoon that will change over to some rain or mix with some snow at times, but overall in the morning and the evening hours is the best chance of when we'll see those showers. And again, another beautiful day as far as temperatures go for Cartwright, but you will see those showers through the day. Taking a look at the long range forecast, after a nice stretch of weather as we get into Thursday night into Friday, that's when we'll see that chance of showers return. Overnight lows around 9 to 10 degrees, and then rain, the story for your Saturday, hovering around the 12-degree mark. Now, as we look ahead to Central, likely going to stay dry at this point, but take a look at those temperatures Wednesday night, down to 1 degree. So your daytime high will be 19, and then drop down to 1 degree overnight, and then in the single digits for the rest of the week. And then for western Newfoundland, looking like you'll get a bit rainy by the time we get into Saturday, hovering around 13 degrees. Now for Labrador, rain the story as we head right through the weekend. And because those temperatures will be much cooler in western Labrador, we're going to talk about that chance of some periods of snow in the mix as well, between 5 and 6 degrees, and overnight lows flirting with the 0-degree mark. But this is definitely a summertime photo. This is the sunset in Sandbanks Provincial Park there. Dina shared that photo with us. Thank you for sending that. If you have any weather photos, send them to my Facebook page, Twitter, or email them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Oh, that's great. Sorry, Dina, if we said your name wrong.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Still. So we're almost finished up for this evening, and we're going to be having someone else do the weather. You've been training someone else in to cover you when you're off. Yes,
I'm going to be off for 2.5 weeks to get married. So Heather Gillis is going to be here.
Yes.
She's over there watching.
So is she going to be doing the weather tomorrow night?
She will be doing
while
the weather.
you're still here,
Yeah.
and you'll okay.
I'm going to take the training wheels off on Wednesday, but we're going to keep them on for tomorrow. So.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Heather with the weather.
That's right.
It's going to be a thing.
She's laughing over there.
That's it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good night.